Izard County Quorum Court's now in session. Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Justice Sanders. Justice Hackman.
Here.
Justice Sherrill.
Here.
Justice Mosier.
Here.
Justice Miller.
Here.
Justice Thornton.
Here.
Justice Combs. Justice Cooper.
Here.
Justice Emmons.
Here. All right, we could stand for prayer and pledge allegiance. Sheriff, will you lead us in prayer, please?
Lord, we thank you for this coming together today. We thank you for this day that we've had. Lord, we ask that you be with those that is in need, whether it's physical or otherwise, Lord. Lord, we ask that the Quorum Court come together tonight and make decisions that's best for our county and community, and it pleases you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reading of last month's.
Izard County Quorum Court met in regular session on Monday, April 1st at 5 p.m. with Justices Sanders, Hackman, Sherrill, Mosier, Miller, Combs, and Emmons present. The minutes of the March meeting were approved on a motion by Justice Miller and a second by Justice Mosier, with all in favor. Izard County Ordinance number 2024-11, an ordinance to establish a special revenue grant fund to be called the Adult Drug Court Opioid Settlement Fund, was passed on a motion by Justice Miller and seconded by Justice Sherrill. After a roll call vote, all were in favor. Judge Smith gave the March road report, and with no other business, the court adjourned at 5:41 p.m. on a motion by Justice Miller and seconded by Justice Combs.
I'll make a motion to accept as read.
Motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say likewise. Yep, 2 more.
We just talked about the entrance.
Yep. All right, comments from the audience? All right, next, first thing on the agenda is the appropriation ordinance that we tabled last night. I'm gonna start with that.
Appropriation Ordinance 2024-12. Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Izard County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to appropriate funds into Fund 1006 from the ARPA Fund 3046. An appropriation ordinance for personal services, compensation, maintenance, operation, and other necessary functions of county government as specified and defined by sections below. Section 1. Ordinance appropriating funds to ARPA Revenue Replacement Fund as defined below. Gravel, $200,000. Arkansas Highway and other construction projects, bridge projects, $300,000. Total appropriated to ARPA Revenue Replacement Fund, $500,000. Section 2, an ordinance unappropriating funds from American Rescue Plan Fund, miscellaneous fund, $500,000. Total unappropriated from American Rescue Plan Fund, $500,000. Section 3 is determined that the above provision and qualifying conditions are immediately needed, therefore it shall be in full force and effect from and after passage and approval.
Make a motion to accept the ordinance as read.
Any discussion?
Yeah, we need to discuss this just a little bit.
Okay.
There hasn't been a second.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, second first.
Okay. Got a motion, do I hear a second? Is there any discussion about it?
Guess that's me.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. All right.
No,
Figure out.
wait.
Oh.
Nope, well, he got a second.
Is there a second or not? Yeah. Dodge the second.
Okay. And I asked why. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. I wanna know why what's going on here.
Well, we told you last week.
I brought it.
I know,
Got it.
we'll discuss that about them bridges, but we told you last week that we weren't gonna be for this, the way you got it wrote up here. We're
Now,
not
how do
gonna-
you want, I mean, what do you want me to, how do you want me to write it differently?
Nothing. I think we'll all approve these bridges. But we're not gonna turn you loose with $500,000 just.
And you're not.
Huh?
You're not.
Well, I know, yeah, we are, if we pass this ordinance right here, we are.
Like right now, you got this right here, our disaster, what we've spent so far on gravel.
Yeah.
So, our total right now, so what I owe Trico right now is right at $70,000 to Trico today.
Yeah.
I've got 10,000 left in my budget for gravel. We got one more road with 4 sites on it to complete, be another 15,000. So 100 of that is gonna be spent as soon as that's over.
Well, I
Then
think,
that's gonna give me what I had to start in my budget, 100,000, to work the rest of the year off of. Other words, we won't be hauling any gravel for the rest of the year. And I don't think the public is gonna appreciate that at all. And then on the bridge projects, now these are estimates, don't know, the contract labor on the Moxie Creek Bridge, that is, they bid on them, that is, Rusty Hurt gave me a price on them. Then we're not building new bridges there, we're just getting them passable, because one of them's been closed down for a while. The Lafferty Bridge, like I said, these are estimates, it could be higher, it could be lower than that 160. That bridge, we had trouble with that constantly. Last big rain we had, water went over that bridge. Took the guardrails off, and we had to replace them. I mean, it's too low, and it needs replaced. The remaining amount of that money will go to the Barronport Bridge, which we finished all the paperwork up on that. That is a federal grant handled by the Highway Department. It's gonna be, started out, we'll have to pay $5,000, then they'll have to get bids on it. Then we have to come up with 10% of the final cost, which people at the state said it'd probably be around $160,000 to $170,000. Just to come, we won't have to put a finger on that, they do all the work, it'll be other contractors. So you ain't turning me loose with $500,000, it's all, basically, I'll have $100,000 left in my budget.
Okay, well, the bridge projects, you got your budget, $140,250.
Say that again.
Your bridge projects,
Okay.
in the budget book, we budgeted you $140,250 for our highway department.
Yes.
Did you not use that?
I can use part of that, but now, part of that was I've spent quite a bit of that. Part of that was a 10% match for all of our overlay projects. I don't even know, I only think I've got 30,000 left in that budget right now, so.
Those bridge projects, and I've thought about this long and hard, especially after, and what was the name of that road I forget every time?
Honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle. I've about come to the opinion, we need to put an engineer on a train. That way they're there to oversee some things, so it shouldn't have to get it.
Well, and that one there, yeah, and I ate crow on that. I said I screwed up.
I know.
I went in and put culverts in and yes, they wasn't big enough. Now the bridge, like this Lafferty Bridge, we'll go in, we'll use the existing head walls, we will add to them to make them taller, and that one will probably need a center pier built. Then we'll use the concrete, bridge forms like we've used on all the other ones, so.
I understand that project, and then I'll probably harp on this though, it's Jensen Ferry Road.
Yeah.
You know, that was money we just threw in the ditches. And even like Dalton Boswell, they kinda messed with it, they had to come back and fix that, because they state aided.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That fog seal was not what we paid for it.
Yeah.
We really didn't.
And I think we told the folks on Chestnut Ferry we'd get a bid on that. When they come in, we said we would do that, and I don't know. I don't think we ever did.
Atlas said they wouldn't bid on it, so that was the only one I'd call.
So that from here on out, that.
Oh, they wouldn't chip and seal it, let me put it that way.
Why would they chip and seal?
Uh,
Why would they not? Did they give you a reason?
They just said they wouldn't touch it, they wouldn't give me a reason.
Is it because what's on it now that,
No.
is that the reason I'm not gonna go back and try to fix it?
No.
Did they tell you that wasn't the reason?
They just, yeah, they don't like doing chip and seal. So,
Did they not chip and seal the Vine Road down here? Chip and seal it. Somebody did the other day. I thought it was them. It might not have been.
yeah, they've done a couple of them, but I don't think they're doing any more. I think they've subbing it out to somebody else.
But even the company that done Wyden, that's a pretty job they done that last year.
Yeah.
The light company wanted to bid on it,
No, that was Atlas.
that was that.
Yep.
Are you not
Yeah.
supposed to chip and
Yeah.
seal the Day Road?
Aren't you fixing the chip
And it, yeah, Atlas is subbing it to somebody. I don't know who Atlas is subbing it to, but Atlas said they wouldn't
See who
bid.
the sub is.
Yeah.
But Atlas won't sub out Chestnut Ferry.
No.
The only road they won't
Hey,
sub out.
I'll-
That makes no sense.
And I called Andy Lee, is the one that told me that he would not bid on it, so.
But personally, I think we just put an engineer on retainer, so we see these things, we might head off some stuff. Yeah, it's gonna cost us money, but it might take us in the long run.
And it would, I mean, and there's other counties, you go to Pulaski County, Craighead County, all them big counties, yeah, they use engineers on everything. It's a lot of money.
I know when even the
Oh,
city got
a lot.
an engineer hired, just to watch over the sewer and water systems.
Yeah.
They're on retainer just in case they wanna do projects.
Yeah. I mean, just like on that $160,000, so, and we'll see how much, engineering and everything costs on the next bridge, on that Fairport Bridge, because that's.
Well, it's gonna cost more, I can tell you
Yeah.
that. But you get what you pay for.
Probably triple, so. Now, without this, I won't have any money because I ain't gonna go under red on my gravel. I'm gonna have to move money around, and then we'll just have to go to bare minimum maintenance.
Here's what I think you need to do, and this is just an opinion, I think will work and every, I don't know. I think you can put the Lafferty Creek on there, I think you can put this one on there, I think you can put that one on there. I think you can put this $101,000 on there. I think the extra $100,000 is an issue, I may be wrong.
That's what I'm saying, I won't have any money in my budget.
Whoa, if you put $100,000, if we put $100,000
And
back in your budget, but you got $200,000 down for gravel. You're
Yeah.
$200,000.
Right now, I owe $70,000 to track them.
Okay.
Plus 15, that'll come out this month.
Okay.
That'll finish my disaster stuff.
Right.
So that's
But-
85,000.
Yeah,
Out of
but
$100,000
does that wipe out your budget?
Oh, yeah.
But if we give you another $100,000, you've got another $100,000
That's why
more
I'm
than you start.
That's why I'm asking for the 200. That'll give me 100, whatever I've got left, 110 left in my budget.
Is our original budget every year $100,000 on gravel?
I changed it, but
What
this
was it
year,
this
100,000.
And how much have you spent? After you
All
pay book out, how much have you spent?
90,000.
After you pay book out, you spent $90,000.
I still owe book out 70 right now.
That's my question.
Yes.
Oh, you owe 70 on
I owe
90.
70 right now.
So you're gonna owe $160,000 in gravel so far this year.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, you ain't turning me loose and I mean, you'll have receipts on every load of gravel and you're more than welcome. We got a box downstairs. You can look at every one of them. It's printed on that receipt what road it goes to.
Kind of misleading the way that, I thought that this 100,000 was what you spent today, this year.
That is what I've spent so far on the disaster. I owe right now for March and April. The bills are downstairs and on the desk.
Okay.
We have not paid yet. Them two added up is $70,000.
Okay.
Plus, we've not completed them Old Liberty, them sites. And that'll be 15,000 added to that, 70. So 85,000 is what I owe the 70 right now. 15 will be next month. I've got 10 left in my budget.
You've got 10 left in your budget before you pay, look at what you owe.
Yes.
Before you pay him the $70,000.
Yes.
You've got $10,000 left in your budget
Yes.
today.
Yes.
I'm saying over here, I wasn't figuring out how you get up that 200,000.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna bring my budget back up to where I can maintain roads.
You're just asking to get back to square.
Yes.
Does that leave you with $40,000 left in your budget for the year for gravel? Is that correct?
It leaves me 60,000 in the hole if I
No,
pay
I mean,
them.
if we approve the 200,000,
Yeah,
does that leave you with $60,000 left? If we give you $200,000 to put in your budget,
yeah.
that's a total of $300,000 in gravel this year. How much have you spent in gravel?
I've already spent 90,000.
Okay.
So
And if we give you 200 more,
I'll have 110 left, right at, or 120, I think, is what I'll have, I believe.
so we're gonna give you $120,000. You're gonna have
I'll
120,000.
bring my budget back up, and then, now this is an estimated on that 15,000, I don't know exactly what it'll cost. But yes, it'll bring my budget back to square, the 100,000.
It brings back what you started at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
So you're gonna have more than what you started with. You're gonna have half a year over with, and you're gonna have
Well, we've not hauled any gravel to anything
I'm
except,
asking. No, I'm asking.
yeah, we'll be
You're
back
gonna
to square
have
one.
$110,000 to finish out a 6-month period.
Yes. And I mean, I ain't saying that's all gonna be spent this year, I'll try, but I doubt it. I mean, there's no way we can, I mean,
Don't they get that reimbursement from the?
How much?
it might be 6 years before
How
we
much
get
have you
it.
applied? How much is it for the reimbursement? You know.
We'll get 35% of, Gary, do you remember what our total is
No, I mean,
on
I'm
that?
just curiosity. Well, how much? You know.
Cause it's,
I cannot remember off the top of my head. I'm gonna say somewhere between 35 and 45%.
yeah, we'll get 30, if we get, now, this is if the governor declares. Right now, she's not declared, so right now, we're not getting anything back. Because all the counties are not finished yet, so they're waiting on the counties to get done with before they declare. I'm thinking Shane said it's somewhere around 700,000. Now that's fuel, labor, equipment use, all that stuff, so.
Is what we spent now.
Yes, because, well, that's what we'll ask to get reimbursed for. And we would only get 35% of that back. If,
If they approve it, but,
yes.
and you probably don't know, but I'm sure you talked to other surrounding county judges. Have they spent this kind of money on their roads?
Van Buren County spent over $1 million. So, yeah,
They got gas wells down there.
yes, yeah,
Well,
and a lot more
what about
heavy
neighboring
equipment,
counties?
and a lot more heavy equipment. Sharp County has spent a fortune, I don't know exactly how much. Judge has been sick, I didn't have a chance to talk to him much, but, yeah, they spent a fortune, because one thing that happened to them over there, which, I think it happened on a few of our roads, is the chicken factories come in and salted a lot of their clay roads, and they fell apart. So they had to haul a lot of gravel.
Well, Morgan wasn't chicken factory.
No, that was electric company. Electric company went in there and destroyed that road. And then called us, you know, cause they ain't gonna do nothing. They took it We tried to get it fixed, but yes, we turned that in on disaster. But no, all I'm trying to do is get to square one.
It's a touch above square one, but I don't blame that.
Well, I mean, like I
It's
said,
a little, I mean, you're half your year over, and you're going back to the original amount.
Yes.
Which we normally spend about 60,000 a year, is what we normally spend, between 60 and 70 on gravel. That's a normal
But
year,
that's-
isn't it?
But that's all it's gonna be spent on. I ain't gonna be able to
Yeah,
move
no,
that
I know.
money around
But
anywhere
60 or
else.
70,000 is what we normally spend, isn't that correct?
Yes,
I mean, that's a normal year.
a normal, yeah, 60,000. But, I mean, I know, we've not even got into their clay pits yet to haul clay gravel. And if we don't have money, we won't be able to haul any of that.
Hey, Eric, I got a quick question. Did we ask the chicken company to, reimburse us any money?
They hauled a few loads.
That's what I've heard from you, is that the chicken company.
They did haul a few loads of gravel on and paid for some gravel on Ash Trail. That was the only road that we thought that they had, that we could prove that they'd hauled some salt in on, so. But they did, they paid for, I think for sure, like 10 loads of sewer rock to put down on that road to get it passable. We couldn't prove it on any of the others. Sharp County had proof of actual seeing them salt the roads.
What would you do for money if it weren't for these ARPA funds?
I would have to stop. We would be to bare minimum maintenance if we didn't have it. And that's what, I mean, the only thing I would be able to do is move money around from, in my budget, cause I ain't gonna go into the red on a drastic amount that I can't move around, so you just have to move money around.
So you ain't been able to haul any clay gravel yet?
No. It's all been SD2 crushed rock. We're fixing to get into the clay pit, hopefully 2 weeks. Then we're going to Bridges Road.
So is them clay pits where you can't get in if there's any kind of moisture at all?
And we don't like hauling the road when there's a lot of moisture. Cause then people start really griping when that gets wet and they can't get in and out of their house. Get mud all over their vehicles, you know how it is.
I know, but I see, junk cars with clay go on my shop here.
Yeah. Yeah, Gary.
That percentage is 35% for safety.
Okay.
You think it's 700,000 or something of that you turned in? Is that correct?
My numbers, it was over 700,000.
Okay. Like 800,000 maybe? You know?
My last count before the last 4 was done, before I even included Wolf Road, was like 760,000.
Okay.
Probably 775 or something like that.
I've got, this is kind of a side question. The guy, their water issue, does none of that fall under any of this? It can't fall.
The governor didn't declare, so the governor it didn't.
But it can't fall under this?
No.
We had 2 separate disaster clearings in January.
Yeah.
One that included the sub temperatures that froze water and had the issues. That was disaster number 1, and the flooding that we had was disaster 2, and they will not incorporate or inculcate cases.
Gotcha. I understand. Yeah. But that one, there's nothing we can do about that. I mean, is there anything we can do to help them, is my question?
My contact with Adam last I heard was trying to get him set up with some sort of RFA, which is an alternate, as far as the state is concerned.
Yeah, I didn't know if there's anything on the county end that we could be doing, and I didn't know, I was asking for, if we could do something to help them out, as far as that goes.
There's kind of water tied into Mountain View one.
Yes.
But Mountain View's out of,
Huh?
Mountain View's out of water, this should be a pretty big project.
I don't know.
Well, all they had to do is replace the foot on the pump.
Yeah.
I don't know what Stone County side of it
Right.
was, because they declared just before we did.
Right.
So I don't know if they received any funds or a percentage back from anything that they've got that maybe.
Maybe we could check on that, see if there's anything they can. Yeah,
I think they just declared so they could get assistance from the pump.
Okay, I'm getting away from, I just got away from what we were talking about, but anyway, I was just wondering on the disaster deal if that would, or something we could do there.
So are y'all totally against this, or we got a motion, if somebody wanted to second it? In other words, we're gonna have to, we'll just have to let the public know that we're gonna have to go to bare minimum.
That's not what we said. We said we'd let you do these bridges, but we're gonna do them one at a time.
Well, you're gonna see every receipt that's spent on them. Every receipt. You can come to my office and look at every one of them. It ain't like I'm gonna use the money to buy a road grader and keep it at the farm or anything like that.
That's not what.
Or how about getting one, how about sell some and use it, put it in the gravel budget? How about that? Would you do something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, be careful.
Yep.
We done that.
I'd have to.
Yeah, we sold some road graders. When's that balloon note come due?
Yeah, 2 more years.
How much is it? Like $250,000?
I don't know, it'll be a bunch, yeah.
We stuck 150 in the gravel that one year, but that happened. So, anyway, I'll be in favor of approving all these bridges and approving, and to approve this $101,000 here. I'll give you all that. Everything you asked for here. As far as everything you've got to.
Well, that's only gonna leave me $10,000 left in my budget, so. That ain't gonna buy very much gravel, so.
But you're already in the red now.
Yeah.
I've got 10,000, as soon as I write a check, I'm in the red for,
Yeah, you're already there.
yes.
And we talked about making sure back to cleanup at the end.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm not gonna go into the red that much money. Y'all know exactly where every bit of this money's spent. It ain't like I'm stealing it. It needs to be appropriated for the end of the year anyways. If all these ordinances pass tonight, it's done, so.
Well, yeah, and I just got rough numbers, you've got this, which is $500,000. You got the courthouse, which is 90-something thousand.
92.
And you got the fairground asked for 27. They're gonna be enough money to do this and the courthouse to get the fairground theirs.
I think
Or we're gonna be
it's,
short.
I think it's $1,000, wasn't it, what we came
yeah,
up with the other day?
1,400 or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
it's close. And there may be that much money. You don't know what these are exact numbers are. Cause this bridge could come in at 170 or could come in at 150, we don't know,
Yes.
right? So there may be 10,000, but yeah, I think pretty much there's enough.
Are we doing all these bridges at the exact same time?
Yes. We will do, well, the two up on, Moxon Creek, yes, Rusty's, he's gonna work on them and then, we hire another concrete guy out of somewhere that does the head walls.
What does the bridges come up to total? You may add it up.
208.
208.78.
208.7.
It's off that range.
Like I said, I don't know, the rest of it is for the reimbursement for the 10% on the Barrenport Bridge.
You got any idea when you'll know that number?
No,
Like this year, next year?
hopefully this year. We've been approved, the director has to sign off, we gotta send them $5,000 and then they'll hire the contractors to bid on it.
We anticipate that costing
The bridge itself probably
us. Okay.
over 160 probably. Cause it's gonna be a bridge like Eddie Cooper, the one at the end of Newburgh Road down there. Not Creek Road, It'll be built like that bridge. But it's a state bridge. No, the remaining amount of money that's out of that, 300,000.
So are we doing anything to Chestnut Ferry or not?
Not at this time, no.
Not at that.
Maybe after the city does their end of it, cause the city will pave, if the city does anything up to their, where they cut, where we meet at.
Yeah.
After that point, then we'll see if we can't
I just
overlay
hated
something.
that those guys sat here and we told them we'd get them.
Same way, that's what.
I mean, that's where I struggled at. Yeah, we'll get a bid and we'll see what it costs to get it fixed. That's my only holdup.
We talk about, we don't want the public to know that we're gonna give minimum gravel, but then we don't mind lying to folks. I don't know, that's hard on me, man. I don't think
I'm just saying, I mean,
that I'm
this,
putting falsehoods out, cause I told them, I thought we were gonna get it done. It's terrible, man.
I think
It really is.
just wasted money. I mean, it was,
the road is, and I drove it the other day.
Don't say
It is ugly. It does drive good, there's no potholes, there's no, but it is ugly. I'll admit to it, it's ugly.
then why do we
But-
pay money to stripe
but
it
when-
when it's failed?
For safety, I mean, we put the fog seal on there and then striped it.
We don't need it striped.
I'm fixing to stripe some, yes. Soon as, I try to stripe them after they're overlaid. When they get done overlaying, and like Boswell Road will get striped this year, cause it'll be completed. I just striped Lunenburg Road, Day Road will get striped.
It ain't straight.
No.
Not at all. Done.
Right now, it ain't, yeah, it will be after it's overlaid.
Patchwork quilt. I can play Daisy better than that guy, whoever did it. It's horrible. Go drive it. You ain't driven it.
I drive, yeah, I've drove it several times.
need to drive it twice.
Richard,
The road, yeah, it's horrible.
No, they're not done.
I think I paid somebody to do a driveway for me, and they did that job on Chestnut, and I said, I'm not paying you for that. You're not coming back.
that should have never been paid,
No, I mean, that's,
especially when I was told they'd fix it.
Alright, what do y'all wanna do?
I wanna approve these three things right here. And however much y'all wanna do in gravel, I don't care. I don't care to approve these three individual things and however much we think's appropriate in gravel. Then maybe we can figure out what it's gonna cost to fix that other road or whatever before we do the rest of it. I mean, I don't know. But I'll do whatever y'all think's best. I don't care to prove everything you've asked for here. You know, everything that you brought a deal for, I don't care to prove all of that at all. And you're gonna need some more money. I didn't realize I don't know that you gotta have 110,000. I mean, that's more than you started with and you're over halfway done. But if that's what you need, I mean, well, I guess we can do that, but, you know, whatever y'all wanna do, I'll be game.
I mean, that's what we're down to. We're down to approving 110,000 left in the gravel.
Well, that plus the extra $100,000 for the bridges. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you do these right here, there's extra $100,000 for bridges, and there's extra $100,000 for gravel.
But and that ain't even gonna be enough for Barrenport Bridge. So, I mean, if we get to that point and they say, well, we need our 10%, at least that money will be there, that we can use.
Or you
Still ain't
revisit
gonna be
that
enough.
later. We can revisit that later.
Well, they don't. We could, I mean, or we could appropriate all the money now and get it, so we don't have to worry about it. Like I said, if all these ordinances pass tonight, we wouldn't have to pull with ARPA money anymore. Nobody will be asking for any more money, it'll be done. So.
how much money be left over if we use it? Fairgrounds that money, put heating and air in there.
And the 500,000, it'll be done.
That's.
I mean,
Roughly zero if we do everything asking for tonight.
and you know where the money's going, you're making your supporters happy because they're getting gravel on the roads. They're gonna be very unhappy if they're not getting any gravel on the roads. So.
We're gonna be unhappy if we can't pay that $250,000 for those road graders to
Well-
get the balloons up on too. That we put in the gravel that we shouldn't have done a couple of years ago, right? Did we put $100 something thousand in gravel a couple years ago? Extra out of sale of road graders.
Wasn't that much.
We didn't put $100,000?
I can't remember. I don't
We
think
did. It was
was.
110 or something like that. You spent 125 that year. But anyway, whatever y'all want to do. But I'm concerned about the $250,000 we got coming up. We know we got to pay.
Well, this money could never be used for that anyway.
It
Ever.
can't.
Cannot be used on financing.
It can't be used to pay for a road grader even. You can't buy a dump truck with it or something.
I don't know if you could or not. I don't think so. I don't know.
I think it can.
Can you?
Once we declared the $10 million, replacement revenue, it can be used on whatever. That's why we're even talking about roads. If you wanna know the truth about it, when it first come out, this money was dedicated, and it was attached to an 80-page document that was called the interim final rule that nobody understood. The AAC actually hired a company to interpret that rule and to tell us how we could spend it. They first said that it was not to be used on roads. It could be used on broadband, it could be used on sewer, water, but it could not be used on roads. And that's kind of why we're where we're at today, is because we were trying to figure out what we were going to spend that on before the time come up. Just to remind y'all that. 2 years down the road, they come back and said, if you got less than 10 million, you can use it as revenue replacement. Of course, we already had a plan in place to try to spend most of it. So just to remind y'all that that's where we're at today.
I'm telling you, I need that. I mean, it's,
Yeah, I guess it is. What do you think? Yeah, no, it's not something he asked. The money that, if we get reimbursed from the.
yeah. You know, like I said, that could be years down the line.
I used to work it. Yeah. If we get reimbursed from FEMA, does that money, can it be used to pay the $250,000 that we're gonna owe here in a year or two?
Yes. Oh, it'll go into the road fund, so, yes. I mean, yes, you could appropriate it for whatever. But yes, it would go into the road fund.
We gotta do something with gravel guys. What y'all wanna do? Man's gotta have gravel.
Right.
I'm gonna make a motion to appropriate something. I don't know what that number is, but the man's gotta have gravel. We need it. We need to do it for the county. I'm all in favor of that. I don't know how much that needs to be. I don't know if that needs to be 110, or if it needs to be, or 200,000, or 100. It's gotta be more than 110, because that kinda eats it up. But whatever y'all wanna put in there, I mean.
That's why I asked for the 200. I mean, that's just gonna bring my budget back up to 100,000.
Right, but you're gonna have,
You gonna use $100,000 worth of gravel?
you're not gonna use 100,000 either the rest of the year. I don't think.
But the
If I
reality is,
could,
we
I
want rid of
would.
this
I mean,
money.
Yeah,
you would, or you
I mean,
would.
that's what you had there.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
very, that's
yeah,
very
why
often,
not?
we wanna be.
That helps the road.
Why? What, you say, why not? Just give you all the money we wanna give you and you spend
I
it?
mean, why would we
There's
not
a
wanna
why
help?
to it, Eric.
Why would we not wanna help the public out?
That's-
You live on it, you live on a paved road.
Wait a minute.
Why would you not wanna put gravel
Why
on
would I
roads?
wanna give you all the money you want to do whatever you wanna do with it?
It's all going to gravel. Gravel. Why would you not wanna help the public out?
Well, I'd love to help the public out.
I mean, you live on a gravel road, wouldn't you like that?
Man, that whole checking thing, you know, I don't know, that all drives me, Judge, I'll be honest, man, you know. We had that money, we just put that away, I don't know, I wanna help the public.
Well, you told us you're
I
gonna
wanna
pay,
tell people
you're gonna
truthfully
pay
come in here and
Gay
say,
Road, now
No,
you
I
gravel.
said
I think everybody's uncomfortable giving you $100,000 once you do it.
I don't know,
Sounds like
I
the
mean,
first of the year,
it
you're
ain't
gonna
like
pay
I'm-
Gay Road, now it's chipping.
I told you it's gonna be chip and seal.
Not at the first of the year, it wasn't, baby.
No.
He said we weren't gonna do any more chip and seal, and here's Gay Road, chip and seal.
That's all we can afford. I can do,
That's why we're trying to save some money.
I can do 4 miles for a mile of pavement.
Y'all need to break it
Maintain.
down for you, where are you getting 110? Kinda lost on the math on that.
Because
There's gonna be $110,000 left, if we give him $200,000, he's got $110,000 left for his road, but for his gravel budget the rest of the year. He started with 100,
Right.
Was we get 110,
But the check 96 has been set.
but the 110 will be left over
After
after
it's all said and
after
done.
he pays all of his bills, he's gonna have $110,000.
Because everything I've spent, we would usually not even be hauling gravel until now. We've never gotten our gravel pits until May. And we've spent from May to as long as we can haul, we've been spending around $60,000.
Why don't we do 150 in the gravel then, and we got 60 from now till.
Cause we want rid of this money.
Why not appropriate all the money? It ain't, I mean,
If something's gonna come up, and maybe we're gonna be,
what? I mean,
to do that, I'd be.
We may actually get a bid on Chestnut Road, go fast.
We don't know what the courthouse is gonna take to fix it up and get it square.
I got it, 92,000. Your next ordinance.
Yeah, well, that could be the same as this one here, it may be 160, 150, or 170. It's always,
But any of that, I mean, it is estimate, but we'll, just like on the courthouse, when you get over the head. Yeah, it might be a little less, I bet all them are a little high. But that money would be spent in the courthouse, on something in the courthouse. These other offices have never had any work done to them. They need some work, so if there was any money left over out of that, that's where it would be spent, would be in the courthouse. I need to know what to do on this ordinance. So we have a motion made.
it died.
Yeah, that motion died.
Kelly, what was you saying, the number you said?
150. And they give him 60, right? Yeah, that 60,000 gravel.
So y'all wanna table this?
We can't table it.
And bring it back next month, for the number of 450 versus 500, is that what I'm understanding?
We can't do that.
Yeah, they can.
Well, they could have, but I mean, I owe the bill right now.
I'm just trying to follow everybody's line, that's kind of what we're down to.
Yeah.
That's what we're down to. Either doing the 500, or coming back next month and saying, we don't want you to have that extra 50 or 60. You can have 450. That's the decision that's on the floor. It seems to me. So. What do y'all want to do?
I think we either do one of two things. We either pass $500,000 tonight, or we pass the $450,000 tonight. The way it gives him money to operate. And I can do either one. Whatever makes the rest of y'all feel good. I mean, I'm not sure what's the best thing to do. I understand their side on the Chestnut Ferry Road. They'd like to have $50,000 to work on that thing if they got a bid. I understand that. My deal is I'd like to pay for some road graders that we're gonna owe on in a couple of years. But we gotta operate and we gotta go on, and we've gotta take care of the public, like you said. We've gotta gravel the roads. That's gotta happen.
Can you change this gravel to 150 today?
Yeah, we can ride on it right now.
You wanted to. Well, yeah, the number would be the same, it's just the gravel would be 150, and you will have to reread it. And then the grand total would only be 450,000. And there'd be like 3 places that have to be changed. If there's a motion.
And that would give us a little bit of a cushion.
make a motion, we do 450.
I second it.
A motion, a second, roll call vote.
We really
Oh, I
need to,
guess
we
we
really
need to read it.
Oh, we gotta read it.
Need to read it, with this. We don't have to have another motion or second, we've already got that. So if you could read it, please.
Okay.
The 200 and 150, and
Right.
there's 3 places where it says 500.
Right.
Okay.
Change the number one. Make it change it.
No, it was never.
I-
Yeah.
Appropriation ordinance 2024-12, an ordinance to appropriate funds into Fund 1006 from the ARPA Fund 3046. Section 1, ordinance appropriating funds to ARPA Revenue Replacement Fund as defined below. Gravel, $150,000. Arkansas Highway and other construction projects, bridge projects, $300,000. Total appropriated to ARPA Revenue Replacement Fund, $450,000. Section 2, an ordinance unappropriating funds from American Rescue Plan Fund, $450,000. I'm sorry, miscellaneous fund, $450,000. Total unappropriated from American Rescue Plan Fund, $450,000. Section 3 is determined that the above provisions and qualifying conditions are immediately needed. Therefore, it shall be in full force and effect from and after passage and approval.
A motion, a second, roll call vote.
So who made the motion?
Kelly.
Kelly made the motion and then,
Hank seconded it, I believe.
okay. Justice Sanders.
Yes.
Justice Hatman.
Yes.
Justice Sherrill.
Yes.
Justice Mosier.
Yes.
Justice Miller.
Yes.
Justice Thornton.
Yes.
Justice Combs.
Yes.
Justice Cooper.
Yes.
Justice Emmons.
Alright. Next, ordinance appropriation ordinance.
Next 4 pages, they're all appropriation ordinance 2024-13. An ordinance to clean up the operating budget for calendar year 2023. An appropriation ordinance for personal services, compensation, maintenance, operation, and other necessary functions of county government as specified and defined by sections below. Section 1. An ordinance appropriating funds to county general funds as defined below. Salary, $1,776. Retirement, $1,488. Small equipment, $200. Advertising and publications, $3,144. Vehicles, $100. Salary, $346. Supplies, $55. Sun-dry insurance, $11,343. Machine and equipment, $8,475. Janitorial, $1,000. Vehicles, $405. Contract labor, $2,591. Salary, $62. Other professional services, $895. SVS contract, $126. Total appropriated to county general funds, $32,006. Section 2, an ordinance appropriating funds to ARPA fund. Declare new revenue, $591,360. Total appropriated to ARPA fund, $591,360. Section 3, an ordinance appropriating funds to the retired employee fund as defined below. Declare new revenue, $6,524. Total appropriated to retired employee fund, $6,524. Section 4, an ordinance appropriating funds to county road fund as defined below. Arkansas Highway Department, $15,246. Total appropriated to county road fund, $15,246. An ordinance appropriating funds to collectors auto fund as defined below. General supplies, $3,000. Total appropriated to collectors auto fund, $3,000. Section 6, an ordinance appropriating funds to court auto fine fund as defined below. Computer services, $564. Total appropriated to court auto fund, $564. Section 7, an ordinance appropriating funds to district court auto fund as defined below. Small equipment, $312. Total appropriated district court auto fund, $312. Section 8, an ordinance appropriating funds to recorder cost fund. Workman's comp, $850. Total appropriated to recorder's cost fund, $850. Section 9, an ordinance appropriating funds to county jail fund. Food for the inmates, $4,233. Other professional services, $8,014. Total appropriated to county jail fund, $12,247. Section 10, an ordinance appropriating funds to public defender fund. General supplies, $525. Total appropriated to Cat 2 fund, $525. Section 11, an ordinance unappropriating funds from county general fund. Computer software, $1,746. Health insurance, $104. Meals, $1,064. Welfare, $350. Computer software, $200. Extra help, $2,689. Insurance, $455. Postage, $100. Postage, $346. Advertising and publication, $55. Fuel, $11,343. Other professional services, $8,475. Other professional services, $1,000. Training, $405. Other miscellaneous, $2,591. Tires, $62. Other miscellaneous, $895. Electricity, $126. Total appropriated from county general funds, $32,006. Section 12, an ordinance unappropriating funds from road fund. Retirement matching, $15,246. Total unappropriated from court automation fund, $15,246. Section 13, an ordinance unappropriating funds from collector auto fund. Machinery and equipment, $3,000. Total unappropriated from collector automation fund, $3,000. Section 14, an ordinance unappropriating funds from district court auto fund. Other professional services, $312. Total unappropriated from district court fund, $312. Section 15, an ordinance unappropriating funds from recorder cost fund. General supply, $850. Total unappropriated from recorder cost fund, $850. Section 16, an ordinance unappropriating funds from county jail fund. Retirement matching, $4,233. Salary, $8,014. Unappropriated from county jail fund, $12,247. Section 17, an ordinance unappropriating funds for public defender funds. Contract labor, $525. Total unappropriated from tobacco prevention fund, $525. Section 21, it is determined that the above provisions and qualifying conditions are immediately needed. Therefore, it shall be in full force and effect from and after passage and approval.
We have to read this 3 times.
Only if it does not pass by a 2/3 majority. If 2/3 of y'all vote in favor of it, we don't have it.
I'm gonna make a motion that we accept the appropriation ordinance as read.
Got a motion and a
Joey's
second.
gonna hope y'all all vote for him.
Roll call vote.
Justice Sanders.
Yes.
Justice Hatman.
Yes.
Justice Sherrill.
Yeah.
Justice Mosier.
Yes.
Justice Miller.
Yes.
Justice Thornton.
Yes.
Justice Cone.
Yes.
Justice Cooper.
Yes.
Justice Emmons.
Yes.
Next one is appropriation ordinance.
Appropriation ordinance 2024-14. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Izard, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to appropriate funds into Fund 1006 from ARPA Fund 3046. Section 1, heat and air, $60,000. Drywall and paint, $11,000. Pew cushions, $9,000. Floor covering, $12,000. Total appropriated to ARPA Revenue Replacement Fund, $92,000. Section 2, an ordinance unappropriating funds from American Rescue Plan Fund, miscellaneous fund, $92,000. Total unappropriated from American Rescue Plan Fund, $92,000. Section 3, it is determined that the above provisions and qualifying conditions are immediately needed. Therefore, it shall be in full force and effect from and after passage and approval.
The heat and air, does that include all of them?
5 mini splits. So you got a unit in there, unit in here, 2 in that, there's 2 offices on the left-hand side and 1 in what Brian showed off, there's 1 in there. And then replacing these 2.
The mini splits, will they have one central, you have
No,
any idea?
they'll have their own
Yeah.
individual deal. Probably them 2 being so close together might have one,
Right.
the others will have
But all
their
the
own.
other ones will be, not running off the same.
Yeah. They'll all have their own thermostat, even them 2, even being that close together, have their own thermostat. The drywall, I think I told you, I had my brother, which has done drywall forever, come and just give me a rough estimate, and he was saying it would have to fur out the walls. So this 11,000 includes putting 2x4s on the wall and leaving the paneling there, just because we have to. Behind the paneling is plaster, about 1 inch of plaster. Behind that is bricks. So we'd have to attach it to them bricks because the paneling wouldn't hold the sheetrock. So doing that, I pay for the wood, the drywall, and then finish it and paint it. The pew cushions, I've gotten several bids on that. Should come in a little less than the $9,000. And then the floor covering, that's replacing the green here. I was gonna leave the wood down here. And it would matter if you wanted to go with commercial floor squares, or if we wanted a LVL. It's all, and I'd get y'all's input on that. But 12,000 was for the carpet squares, commercial carpet squares.
I make a motion to pass the ordinance, correct?
I'll second.
Motion and a second, roll call vote.
Justice Sanders.
Yes.
Justice Hatman.
Yes.
Justice Sherrill.
Yes.
Justice Mosier.
Yes.
Justice Miller.
Yes.
Justice Thornton.
Yes.
Justice Cone.
Yes.
Justice Cooper.
Yes.
Justice Emmons.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Next one is another appropriation ordinance. What's the number on that?
2024-15. An ordinance to appropriate funds into Fund 1006 from the ARPA Fund 3046. Section 1. Ordinance appropriating funds to ARPA Revenue Replacement Fund is defined below. Building, $27,500. Total appropriated to ARPA Revenue Replacement Fund, $27,500. Section 2. An ordinance unappropriating funds from American Rescue Plan Fund. Miscellaneous fund, $27,500. Total appropriated from American Rescue Plan Fund, $27,500. Section 3, it is determined that the above provisions and qualifying conditions are immediately needed. Therefore, it shall be in full force and effect from and after passage and approval.
For the fairgrounds, the building that we talked about.